Well, it is exactly at the top of the hour. Many things are happening across the country and beyond our borders, with a focus on the Haitian nation following the resignation of Haiti Prime Minister, that is Ariel Henry. We'll be telling you what that means for that particular country and that particular deal that was made by Kenya and Haiti to take 1,000 police officers to that particular country and restore peace. That is what is in store for you this lovely afternoon. In the next 1 hour or so, we do have that and so much more. My name is Abdiaziz, Hashim, and of course we're just here to brief you on what is happening. You can also get in touch with us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 as well as at Abdiaziz Hashim 1. So let's get started. We want to begin our stories on where all second generation alcohol distillers and manufacturers will be vetted afresh in the next 2 weeks. This is among the resolutions agreed following a meeting between Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki and the alcohol manufacturers Tuesday in Embakasi, Nairobi. Kindiki reiterated all licenses issued previously stand suspended and any person found engaging in the trade will be prosecuted.
To subvert any other interest for the sake of ensuring that we save our future generations from what has happened. We don't want to have any more deaths of our people. We don't want to have young people who are zombies, who are hooked into hard drugs and toxic brews. And therefore, anybody participating in the entire supply chain of narcotics has a date with us. We mean business. We will succeed. All the agencies have been put on notice. We have done internal housekeeping matters, even as government agencies. We've directed that all officers who are either in national administration as GAO officers, police officers, anti-counterfeit agency officers, KRA officers who operate this business must choose either closure of that business or they leave public service. And that also is taking place. Many officers have actually opted to stop engaging in this business because it leads to conflict of interest if you are a law enforcement agency and you're tackling a problem where yourself you are a participant. We have also asked the counties to cooperate with us. Some of the functions of licensing bars and alcoholic drinks outlets are in counties, but now this matter is no longer, it's beyond the normal functioning of any level of government. It's a national security matter. And therefore, we revoked on 6th of March all licenses that have been issued by county governments across the country, contrary to national law, namely the Alcoholic Drinks Control Acts. Some are next to schools, next to residential areas. Those licenses are revoked and those places are shut. Anybody involved in manufacture, distribution, sale of these drugs and toxic brews, any premises involved in storage such merchandise is being destroyed so that we can destroy the capacity to manufacture evil. And also, we are also asking for forfeiture orders so that any vehicle used to transport illicit and toxic brews and drugs.
And now to our top story this afternoon is that Haiti Prime Minister Ariel Henry has resigned, paving way for the establishment of a transition council in efforts to restore peace in the Caribbean country. Now, the resignation of the 74-year-old Prime Minister, who took office after the assassination of the last president in 2021, comes after an emergency meeting of regional leaders of the Caribbean community, that is CARICOM. Henry, who called for calm during the transition process, is set to be replaced by a presidential council that will have 2 observers and 7 voting members, including representatives from a number of political coalitions, the business sector, civil society, and 1 religious leader.
Promise you.
Haiti Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who is yet to return to the country after signing a reciprocal agreement with Kenya, setting the stage for the deployment of 1,000 police officers from Kenya as part of a multinational force.
A mission for humanity. It is a mission in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Haiti.
It's not an usual mission. According to what I know, it's the first time that a kind of mission is taking place.
To keep the peace in Haiti resigned on Tuesday.
We acknowledge the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry upon the establishment of a transitional presidential council and the naming of an interim Prime Minister.
Henry, who has been holed up in the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico after violence escalated in Haiti, opted to step down following a crisis meeting with the regional leaders of the Caribbean community. This now sets the stage for the establishment of a transition presidential council tasked with appointing an interim prime minister who excludes anyone intending to contest in the next elections. He thanked the people of Haiti for allowing him to serve even as he called for peace to prevail. Haiti has lacked elected representatives since early 2023, and its next elections will be the first since 2016. The next developments come barely a day after Interior CS Kithure Kindiki say the deployment of 1,000 Kenyan police officers to Haiti is in the pre-deployment stages.
Kenyan police officers will be just part of the multinational security mission in Haiti. Kenya is the lead nation, but there are so many other countries that have pledged to contribute troops. And this came from the mandate of the United Nations Security Council. So it's part of our international obligations.
Serafina Nairobi for Lunchtime News.
Let's come back here to the country. Now, Public Secretary State Department of Social Protection Joseph Muturi has urged the elderly to refrain from giving out their monthly cash transfer stipend to their children. Speaking during a visit at the Little Sisters of Poor, Nyumba ya Wazee at Kasarani, Muturi said the elderly have not been benefiting from this stipend as the majority of them tend to give out their money to their loved ones. Muturi, who was accompanied by his Correctional Services counterpart Salome Wairimo, donated food and non-food staff to the 60 elderly persons staying at the facility. Well, we do apologize for that particular story, and of course we'll be bringing you once we do get that particular full story of it. Now, a Nairobi-based civil society group has petitioned the Nairobi County government for lack of public participation at the ward level, saying most of the decisions are made by few individuals. Now, the civil society reference group, through its chairman, Sidi Otieno, argues that the Nairobi County Eviction and Settlement Scheme Bill 2023 needs to be revised and public participation done before it is passed. Now, the group now urges all the ward administrators to sign the petition and give the county 5 days to plan for the meeting to ensure they all agree on crucial issues.
For the past 1 week, we have been collecting signatures in 21 wards, which by yesterday we had already received at least 100 signatures from 21 wards. Because Section 12(3) states that if citizens in a ward petition the ward administrator and is accompanied by at least 100 signatures, then the ward administrator holds a meeting. We are using this to be able to ensure that the bill that is before the assembly be brought back to the wards where the people are, because evictions take place in the wards. Evictions don't take place in the charter hall. So
wakati wana demolish, mtu hajui right yake ni gani. Hajui ako supposed kufanya nini, hajui haki yake ni gani. Unapata ule mtu mwingine ako na mtoto anaenda kufanya exam this year, but hakuna solution yoyote inapatianwa. Watu wanajiuliza what next. So tunataka irudi hapa chini ili mtu wa chini aweze kuelewa na aweze kuelewa haki yake ni gani.
And now to our initial story, where Public Secretary State Department for Social Protection Joseph Muturi has urged the elderly to refrain from giving out their monthly cash transfer stipend to their children. Speaking during a visit at the Little Sisters of Poor, Nyumba ya Wazee at Kasarani, Muturi said the elderly have not been benefiting from this stipend, as the majority of them tend to give out their monies to their loved ones. Now Muturi, who was accompanied by his Correctional Services counterpart, that is Salome Wairimu, donated food and non-food staff to the 60 elderly persons staying at the facility.
Yes, and there are many there.
Wazee tunawalipa ile pesa tunaita Inua Jamii na wengi wanapokea, lakini the only challenge nimepata hapa ni kwamba hao pia watoto wao wanakuja kufuata hizo fedha mpaka hapa. Nimesema ya kwamba nimekuwa na director in charge of that program. Nimemweleza hiyo pesa iwe inabaki hapa ili kusaidia sister kuliko kwenda kuomba kuja kuwasaidia wao. Ile pesa ambao Our Excellency the President Dr. William Samoei Ruto huwa anatusaidia kutoa katika serikali hii yake.
The families are taking this money by force. The old people, you know, they feel as if it's their responsibility also to help a grandchild to go to school or whatever, but maybe the families also could explain to them that, you know, this money is meant to help them there where they are.
Now to another tragic turn of events in Mombasa County, where a construction worker had died after being trapped in a lift shaft while he was installing a new lift on an 8-story building in Ganjoni, Mvita, Mombasa Sub-County. Now speaking after the retrieval of the victim's body from the shaft, the County Executive Committee member in charge of Transport and Infrastructure, Dan Manyala, regretted the lack of safety gear for the workers, emphasizing the need of individuals involved in construction to provide the required equipment to avert such accidents. At the same time, he noted through investigations will be conducted to examine the safety of the building and ensure all necessary safety measures are in place to prevent similar accidents from occurring in future.
Kumetokea mkasa ya mtu kuangukiwa na lift iliyokuwa ikiwekwa ama ikiwa installed, na hii lift imeweza kuanguka katika 4th floor, na inasemekana kulikuwa na 2 people, lakini 1 aliweza kutoka na mmoja amefariki. Na one thing that has come out clearly from what we've seen, the victim ametoka pale ndani bila any safety gadget or gear. There is no helmet. Now what we usually recommend kama the people who are in charge of safety in the county ni kuwa kuna some kind of processes kama zinafanywa, lazima kuwe na safety officer pale kwa project, lazima kuwe na site engineer and anaweza kuguide katika zile safety protocols zenye zinafuatwa wakati kama huo. We will make sure that a thorough investigation is done, and if there are people who are culpable, they are brought to book.
Whoever ambaye alipeana kauli mambo ya report ile ya safety ni nani? Ni mtu wa kwanza kuchukuliwa na yeye hatua. Poteza Mkenya katika ile ya maisha ambayo mtu anaishi, pengine kuna watoto maskini anawaacha katika sehemu. Kwa the whole of the building must be responsible. Na pia lazima agaramike na kulinda maisha ya wale watoto ambao wameachwa.
Within a period of 2 years, building kama hizi tumepoteza watu 3, 2 zikiwa kizingo. Sasa tunaona hii trend inaendelea. Masuala kama haya tu, negligence, mara watu wakuvaa gears. This is very unfortunately, na tunataka county waangalie sana, wa monitor hizi nyumba
kuanguka.
And in other news, First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto has received 150 water tanks with a capacity of 3,000 litres from Flame Tree Group, the manufacturer of Roto tanks, at State House, Nairobi. Now the tanks will be distributed to women in the country to increase household access and storage of clean water.
The water tanks were officially handed over by Herel Bangera, the CEO of Flame Tree Group, at State House.
We want to continue partnering with you. We want to donate these 3,000-litre tanks to you now. We'd love to hand them over to you right away.
During the ceremony, the First Lady appreciated the organization for their donation, urging other partners to join hands and increase the access and storage to water tanks by households, especially in the arid and semi-arid areas.
When we see tanks like this, we know that women will be smiling because I think one thing that is very close to the heart of our women is water.
She also acknowledged that the water storage facilities will reduce the need for women to walk long distances to fetch water, saving them time to engage in economic activities.
Them having water close means that then they can run to their kiosk and do business. They can see their cows, they can see their chicken, and so on and so forth.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Joseph Wahungu.
Nutritionists in the country are faulting the government over what they term as deliberate move to lock them out of the implementation of the Universal Health Coverage UHC. Now, through their union, the nutritionists have taken issues with the move to exclude them from the community health volunteers who are spearheading the implementation of UHC in the country. Speaking during a scientific conference held at University of Nairobi, Upper Kabete campus, the Kenya Union of Nutritionists and Dietitians National Treasurer Lilian Momina said all cadres of the health professionals must be brought on board if UHC is to succeed. Momina said they have written to the Ministry of Health demanding that nutritionists and dietitians are incorporated in UHC implementation.
Access to the fact that you see, once you ignore a very core component of nutrition, of health like nutrition, you're like telling Kenyans like we don't care about your health. That is what the ministry is telling us, like mjipange, and that is very wrong because the ministry is supposed to ensure that those networks have inclusivity of the right cadres, not just people from the health sector. We have to have nutritionists included in those committees, so that because what you don't know you cannot solve. When you have a doctor, when you have doctors or nurses or those other cadres dominating the primary care networks, it means that the malnutrition situation in Kenya will persist because they don't understand the nutrition situation of the country.
Over 50,000 early childhood development learners across Busia County are set to benefit from the school feeding program launched by the Ministry of Education. The school feeding program is being facilitated by the county government of Busia in 460 public learning institutions.
That you've done, though, so we do appreciate this work that you've done, though we have challenges that we are facing. One of the challenges that we are facing is about the management of those that are preparing meals because the parents are not able to raise the funds.
Asante kwa Bwana Gavana kwa hili mradi alituletea wa chakula katika shule. Imefanya hata watoto saa hii wanakuja bila kukosa. Nikifika shuleni nikiuliza mwalimu anasema watoto wanakuja, siku hizi hakuna watoto absent.
Hii ndio mara ya kwanza tumeona Gavana amekumbuka watoto wa ECD. Tunashukuru sana na tunaomba akaweze kusupport watoto wa ECD vilivyo.
Elsewhere, a section of elders and residents of Isiolo County have poked holes on findings of the Senate Public Accounts Committee alleging misappropriation of funds and incomplete projects by the county executive. The residents who visited Isiolo County Referral Hospital and assessed the construction of an accident and emergency center, the pharmacy and an abattoir, the market and Mwangaza dispensary defended the county government as they faulted the Senate committee for allegedly playing politics in its review of projects of the county assembly. They appealed to the governor and senator to desist from politics and instead focus on ensuring development of the region.
Following the visit that was made to our county by the Senate committee, who came to look on the environment issues, and following the remarks that they made, we were shocked because they were threatening and shocking, saying that Isiolo County is a failed county. And we came together today as leaders because we wanted to establish the truth behind those remarks. And we have had time to visit the project that they visited. We've gone to the level 5 hospital, we've visited the morgue. It is working moderately, it's not in bad state or condition as they were putting it.
Ningeomba ya kwamba ikiwa process inaendelea, tunafaa kuipea muda wake, tuone jinsi ambavyo kazi inavyosonga. Wakati senators walifika general, hawakuingia katika the emergency wing ambayo inajengwa ya kisasa itakayosaidia hata the neighboring counties kuweza kusaidika kwa sababu ya kisasa. Ninaomba kwa unyenyekevu mwingi tuweze kuangalia baadhi ya mambo mengine kwa kinile.
Elsewhere, a man from Mwingi in Kitui County who divorced his wife in 2021 has appealed to Chief Justice Martha Koome to intervene on a petition in which he is seeking to evict his former wife from his home. David Munyao, whose marriage to Agnes Kathule Mune was dissolved by Mwingi Court in August 2021, made the plea on Friday before Kitui High Court Judge Robert Limo. Now, Munyao wants the CJ to constitute a 3-judge bench to expedite the matter, which has dragged in court for 3 years. The former wife has since filed a matrimonial property petition.
I'm pleading with the Chief Justice to intervene on my behalf. For as an ordinary citizen, I've suffered a lot. Since 2021, when the divorce was granted, the woman has refused to get out of my home, contrary to the traditions of the Kamba community. They don't allow such a thing to happen. She boastfully says that she cannot go because she is represented by a judge.
And now to the education sector, where the government and the private sector have been urged to prioritize hiring graduates from technical, vocational education and training institutes that are TVETs, as most of them are equipped with hands-on skills that match the demands of the evolving job markets. Now, education experts say that skills acquired by learners in TVETs are required in the labour market, noting that there is a high demand for technical skills.
Led by Kiambu National Polytechnic Governing Council Chairperson Frederick Kairu, the experts called upon employers to consider absorbing graduates from TVETs, as most of them are equipped with both theoretical and technical skills.
I would say the future of this country is actually TVET.
They at the same time rallied employers to hire local labor instead of importing it, saying there's adequate skilled labor in the country.
The solution in terms of industry and even in agriculture, the areas that we need innovation in manufacturing and in agriculture.
They further loaded the competence-based education training CBET for TVETs, noting it has helped many trainees conform to the current trends and technologies.
This is why the government is emphasizing so much on the CBET-based education as opposed to the formal education that we had. And I think this is going to go a long way in helping this country.
Students at the institution loading TVETs for equipping them with skills to contribute to the economy.
Do this thing kukuja kwa kosi ya mikono na machi watu wengi wamekataa hii kazi ya pengine ambao. So the TVET, the school yenyewe imetusaidia because we are much like hii kosi yetu tunakuwa watu watatu tu ambao.
Our project here, we are trying to create more and more innovative ideas to fill in the gap of the job market.
The remarks were made during the opening of a 3-day public exhibition for students at Kiambu National Polytechnic to showcase the innovative skills on various industrial initiatives. Parsai Frederick, Lunchtime News.
Still with education matters, residents of Igembe area in Meru County now want the Chuka University Igembe campus operationalized. Now, the initiative, originally proposed by former President Uhuru Kenyatta, has yet to see progress despite assurances from the current administration. Now, residents express frustrations over the stalled project, labeling it a mere campaign tool. The residents are, in the meantime, considering peaceful demonstrations to push for the immediate establishment of the high learning facility.
Sasa ni maandamano ambao sasa tunataka kuitisa haki yetu. Kwa nini?
Sisi tumengojea, tumepeana masamba, tumepeana vyote vile walikuwa tupeane, na mpaka wa leo tunasikia sasa wanachukua vitu wakihamisa pole. Sasa yetu tu ni maandamano.
And we are pleading with the government, kindly, let this university remain here so that our children can be able to access learning easily without any problem.
Ombi langu ni wale waheshimiwa ambao wanafikia rais karibu kila masaa, kila siku, waweze kutuambia na kujulisha watu wetu nini ambacho kinaendelea na university yetu.
It is 25 minutes past the hour. We take our first commercial break on KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We still have more news for you on the other side of the break.
KBC Channel 1 imeandaa vipindi spesheli katika mwezi mtukufu wa Ramadhan mwaka huu kwa ajili yako. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Kando na ukumbi wa Kiislamu na hutuba ya Ijumaa, kutakuwa na makala yanayoangazia masuala ya funga, mawaidha,
whosoever witnesses the month of Ramadan, then he should fast.
Vipindi vya mapishi.
Katika mapishi ya Ramadhani tutatayarisha pilau ya korosho. Utahitaji viazi, vitunguu vinne vikubwa, na zabibu
na kaswida mbalimbali. Ramadhan kana. Pia tumekuandalia kalenda ya Ramadhan ili kukuweka kwenye mstari wa mbele katika funga yako. Tazama runinga ya KBC Channel 1 katika mwezi huu mtukufu wa Ramadhan ili kukuza na kuhifadhi imani yako.
Pursuit of greatness, WRC Safari Rally traverses Kenyan terrain through 5 stages. A path with diverse challenges that test the cars and the drivers. Strength, resilience, toughness, gusto, speed, and willpower against all odds. We launch with the Kasarani Super Special on Thursday, cruise through Elementaita on Saturday, and beeline to Hell's Gate on Sunday, where the winner will be crowned. Keep up with the daily news, highlights, and competitors' interviews. That's it. As we race to the top. This Easter on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Hawezi kutanguliza suna kabla ya farad. Faradi inakuja number 1. Faradi inakuja number 1, baada yake ndio unafuata sunna. Na lazima hayo mambo tuyajue.
Ningependa pale nyumbani na hata nami pia tusisahau kutekeleza swala hasa katika mwezi huu wa Ramadhan ili tunufaike kwa kupata kukubaliwa ibada zetu. Jour après jour mon d'amour t'es bienvenue.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the Anglican Church of Kenya, Mbere Diocese in Embu, has established a youth and sports outreach program to engage and change the lives of young people in the community. The diocese head, Bishop Dr. Moses Masamba, said the program aims at using the power of sport to drive a social change in the community. Among the target population is boda operators and young men and women in the community. Now, speaking while unveiling the committee that will oversee the implementation of the program, the man of the cloth said the initiative will also help reduce antagonistic behavior. Boda industry officials Josephat Njuki lauded the move. Now, Isiolo Football Club team manager Jacob Ndigwa said engaging young people in sports will keep them busy and away from deviant behaviors and crime.
na tukaamua tuwapeleke katika kanisa ili ile changamoto ya vijana ya kutumia miandarati ya kuua katika tabia mbaya tuwarete pamoja na mchungaji au wanaombea. Huwa wanaingia kanisa kila Jumapili, tunashiriki katika service ya kwanza ile ambayo ni ya Kiingereza. Baada ya hapo wanaenda kwa mpira wakiwa wametoka katika nyumba ya Bwana.
Ili tuone vijana wetu hata wakicheza mpira pia wanajua mambo ya neno la Mungu, pia wanatumika kwa njia za kuleta nidhamu na pia njia za kujua ni nini wanatakiwa wafanye kwa maisha.
Now, the government has been urged to deploy more teachers to enhance the quality of education, especially at the grassroots level. Nyatike Member of Parliament, that is Tom Odege, criticized the Teachers Service Commission for low numbers of teachers in Nyatike constituency. His sentiments were echoed by Sori High School Principal Mr. Stephen Auma, who said despite the recommended allocation of 48 Teachers Service Commission employed teachers, his school only has 18. The numbers are reflection of a teacher ratio in other schools within the constituency.
Teachers are overworked. We have tried to staff our schools, and teachers will confirm. I've been camping at TSC, getting 1 or 2 teachers for schools, but I know those ones are not enough.
I joined Sori last year in February, and the state of the staffing is actually dire. We really need the teachers seriously.
And in other news, the government has introduced a 2.7 billion shillings Feedlot project targeting 31 counties that occupy the arid and semi-arid lands across the country. While launching the phase 1 of the project in Mombasa County, Principal Secretary ASALS and Regional Development Kelo Harsama said the project aims at alleviating the biting effects of the drought that has led to the loss of over 2.5 million livestock in the last 5 years.
Stable weather patterns characterized by prolonged dry spells and flash floods have led to the destruction of property, farmland, as well as loss of livestock. For livestock keepers in ASAL regions in the country, theirs is a loss running into millions owing to the yawning drought experienced over half a decade that has laid waste to grass and dried up water sources.
In Marsabit we lost over 70% of the livestock that we have. And you know, livestock is almost all the earthly possession we have in this part of the country. So to get back to that level, to then, what we used to own, essentially the people who lost those livestock now are rendered very poor.
The 2.7 billion shillings Feedlot project is an intervention to avert further losses, targeting over 31 ASAL counties.
The issue of feedlots will also further empower livestock owners, because the program comes with a lot of issues surrounding marketing, issues of improving breeds, issues of improving health, the veterinary health of animals, something which has never been done before.
PSR Sama says under the project implemented in collaboration with Ewasongiro North Development Authority in a 5,000-acre piece of land, Marsabit residents will have access to water, animal feeds, markets for their livestock, as well as train in livestock husbandry.
This will be what they call like a sample, or it will be a trial. So as you learn from there, everybody will be developing his own. This will be communally owned. But when you get trained and you have seen the concept, we have plenty of land God has given us in this region. So there are some areas.
Regina Manyara reporting for Lunchtime News.
Vulnerable school-going children at Cherish Watoto Learning Center in Dagoretti South will soon benefit from a modern education facility that is due to be constructed by a team from Good Shepherd from the United States of America. Now, the director of Cherish Watoto Learning Center, Bernard Wadera, said the facility, once completed, will accommodate pupils who are currently in junior high school to secondary section. Now, Tara Beth, a Good Shepherd team leader, leaders said their main mission is to support vulnerable children access quality education and shelter. They revealed that the expansion of the program will enable construction of 9 classes with 3 streams each by 2026.
We are really thankful, and it has been a pleasure hosting all of you in our home and school. And you are really good guys. I got to interact with most of you, and you're very kind-hearted people, and you're good, and continue with the same spirit. We love you so much. The food was nice, and the time we spent together dancing, it was awesome. May God bless you. We know we can't repay back, but you'll always be dedicated in our prayers.
You have taught them some styles. They are also showing you their styles. So we also teach them various activities in St. Dorcas, because it is a home and a school whereby we even nurture the talents.
And today on our special excerpt this afternoon is that today on the cabinet we delve into the career of David Mwiraria, who held pivotal roles in the government of President Mwai Kibaki.
David Mwiraria was born in 1938 in Meru. He went to Kaga Secondary School and later Alliance High School before proceeding to Makerere University in 1956, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics in 1962. Thereafter, Mwiraria enrolled with the Nairobi University College, a constituent college of the University of East Africa, graduating with a master's degree in statistics. Aged 26, he was the first Master of Arts graduate at what would become the University of Nairobi. His first port of call was the prestigious East African Community, in which he served as Director of Statistical Department and later Secretary of the Common Market until 1977, when he was appointed Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance. He served as PS in several ministries for 11 years, including Home Affairs. Mwiraria left government 2 years later in 1986 and went into private business. He re-emerged at the clamour of multi-party politics in 1991 when Health Minister and Vice President Kibaki resigned from government to form Democratic Party of Kenya in readiness for the 1992 general election. In 1992, he ran for the North Imenti parliamentary seat on a DP ticket and won, defeating Lands Minister Jackson Harvester Angaine. After the 1997 elections, Kibaki, who was the leader of official opposition, appointed Mwiraria the Shadow Agriculture Minister. When Kibaki was sworn in as president in 2002, he appointed Mwiraria his finance minister. In 2006, Mwiraria made history as the first government minister to resign since independence over allegations of corruption. This is when he was linked to the Anglo-leasing scandal. Mwiraria served the brief remainder of his time in cabinet as environment minister. He lost at the polls in 2007 to Silas Morioki, who was running on a Mazingira Green Party of Kenya ticket, whereupon Kibaki appointed him chairman of the Kenya Wildlife Service Board of Trustees. His retirement was disrupted when he was charged along with 9 others in 2015 for corruption related to the Anglo-leasing scandal. 2 years later, Mwiraria died. Jackie Wambiru, The Cabinet.
world of business. The Capital Markets Authority is inviting your views on the draft amendments to the margin trading regulation that involves buying securities by borrowing funds from a broker at an interest rate. Capital Markets Authority CEO Wycliffe Shamir says the new regulations are expected to enhance market liquidity by increasing the supply and demand for the securities.
In a bid to enhance the responsiveness to changing dynamics, market developments, technological advancements, and emerging stakeholder expectations, the Capital Markets Authority (CMA) has drafted amendments to its regulatory framework. CMA has developed margin trading regulations, reviewed the guidelines on financial resource requirements for market intermediaries, and amended the commodity markets regulations. The authority's CEO, Wycliffe Shamir, says the introduction of margin trading is expected to enhance market liquidity by increasing the supply and demand for securities and maintain the stability and integrity of financial markets. The Capital Markets Commodity Markets Regulations 2020 has been amended to introduce fees to support regulatory oversight over licensed entities in the commodities sector. The new license categories include intermediary service platform providers, broker-dealers, trustees, custodians, and money managers. Margin trading was recommended as one of the measures to improve liquidity in the equity market in the 2015 World Bank report on potential measures for the improvement of liquidity in the Kenyan equity markets. Frederick Moki for Lunchtime News.
More support in terms of funding and capacity building should be accorded to the informal sector, which is key in industrial decentralization as well as inclusive participation by the masses. Here is Ian Muse with the details.
The informal sector currently creates 9 out of 10 jobs in Kenya. However, those in the informal sector face a myriad of challenges, key among them access to capital.
Sisi sote tumeegemea katika formal sector ambayo yote inaelekea kwa serikali, na ukiangalia nafasi zile za serikali zilizoko, tukikuja kwa walimu ni chache, ukikuja kwa polisi ni chache, ukienda kwa idara zile zingine ni chache. Kwa hivyo huenda ikawa idadi kubwa sana ya Wakenya wanapigania nafasi ambazo hazijafika 10,000.
In addition, thousands of those in the informal sector working as welders, plumbers, carpenters, masons and electricians lack the academic certificates and testimonials to prove their worth to potential employers in the informal sector.
Na ukiangalia kila mwaka wale watoto wanaotoka katika shule ni wengi sana, na katika secondary na university na vyuo vile vingine idadi ile ni kubwa sana, na ikiwa sisi kama wazazi katika ngazi zile za chini hatuwezi kuexploit the formal sector ambapo inaweza kuabsorb hao watoto, tunategemea kuwa ni mpaka serikali itakuja kutengeneza ajira kwa watoto wetu.
He says enhanced support to the informal sector will help create more opportunities and significantly reduce poverty levels, increase household incomes and stimulate economic activity through enhanced consumer spending and taxation.
Hapo ndipo tunaweza kuwa tunapoteza mwelekeo, kwa sababu baadhi ya wazazi wetu wako na uwezo wa kuweza kuinvest kutokana na zile mali chache wako nazo ama zile nyingi wako nazo, ili ziweze kuabsorb hawa watoto wetu ambao tuko nao.
Tena says despite the huge opportunities, lack of standards makes it difficult to map out existing skills and gauge the skilling requirement in the informal sector.
Hivi kwamba hiyo document ikiwa hivyo iweze kukaguliwa vizuri, ionekane kuwa iko na sera ambazo zinashika mateka wazazi na watoto pale nyumbani.
Ian Muse, Lunchtime.
And in other news, shorter stay rentals platform Airbnb has announced a ban on surveillance cameras inside rental properties beginning May this year. The move is set to improve the privacy of rental customers and to streamline the company's policies on security cameras. This comes amidst calls by Kenyans to regulate the operations of the rental accommodation and install CCTV cameras inside the Airbnb, attributing to the recent murder incidences in the short stay accommodation.
insecurity incidences in short-stay rentals in Kenya hit headlines in January this year. This is despite the mother company, Airbnb, distancing itself, saying the properties where the crimes took place were not listed on its platform. Kenyans on social media have been pushing for installation of CCTV cameras inside the rental properties to curb the crimes, while others express concerns over what appear to be concealed cameras in Airbnbs, citing breach of privacy. This led the government to order Airbnb and short-term accommodation operators to register their property with the Tourism Regulatory Authority. Today, Airbnb is introducing a ban on surveillance cameras inside rental properties listed on its platform. The changes to the company's policy will come into effect on April 30th. The move is set to improve the privacy of rental customers and to streamline the company's policies on security cameras. Airbnb's current rules allow the use of security cameras in common areas such as living rooms and hallways, as long as the location of the equipment is made clear on the property's listing. Airbnb does not allow surveillance cameras to be placed in private areas like bedrooms and bathrooms. The new rules will still allow the use of doorbell cameras and noise monitors in common areas. However, hosts must disclose the presence and general location of any outdoor cameras before guests book. The updated policy also bans the use of outdoor cameras that point inside properties. Wairi Mujenga for Lunchtime News.
At least 9,000 farmers in Homa Bay County are said to benefit from an agricultural project aimed at enhancing climate resilience in crop production. The program, implemented by the European Union in partnership with Homa Bay County government, involves the reduction of emissions of carbon into the atmosphere by using organic fertilizers. Under the program, 3,000 farmers have received farm inputs, including seeds and organic fertilizers at subsidized prices. 6,000 farmers have been trained on climate resilience agricultural practices, which will boost food production in the county.
That there's maximum leverage out of this economic partnership agreement for Homa Bay.
So I'm quite excited. I'm going after that to a trip to see this farm that is providing substantial jobs also here in Homa Bay, and also providing Kenyans and the region with some substantial livelihood, but also food.
We are putting forward our competitive, unique advantages, but we are also prepared legally. We are also prepared with the policy frameworks. We are also prepared, as far as land is concerned and all the other issues, but also ensuring assuring our investors of security of their investment.
Chinese technology giant Xiaomi says it will start deliveries of its first electric vehicle EV this month and its first ever foray into the competitive automotive industry. The car's price is expected to be announced on 28th of March. Details of this and more news from across the globe.
China's fifth largest smartphone maker, Xiaomi, says it has 59 stores in 29 cities around the country to take electric vehicle orders. It comes as a price war intensifies between firms like BYD and Tesla in China, the world's biggest car market. At the unveiling of the Speed Ultra 7 last year, Xiaomi's chief executive Li Jun said the company aims to become one of the top 5 car makers in the world. The smartphone giant has said it will invest $10 billion in its vehicle business over the next 10 years. Li said the SU7 was super electric motor technology, which is capable of accelerating faster than some Tesla and Porsche electric vehicles. Xiaomi is also hoping that the car shared operating system with its phones and other devices will appeal to existing customers. Elsewhere, a former Boeing employee known for raising concerns about the firm's production standards has been found dead in the United States. John Barnett had worked for Boeing for 32 years until his retirement in the year 2017. In the days before his death, he had been giving evidence in a whistleblower lawsuit against the company. Boeing said it was saddened to hear of Barnett's passing. The Charleston County coroner confirmed his death on Monday, saying the 62-year-old had died from a self-inflicted wound on 9th March, and police were investigating. In the year 2019, Barnett said that under-pressure workers had been deliberately fitting substandard parts to aircraft on the production line, adding that he had uncovered serious problems with oxygen systems, which could mean 1 in 4 breathing masks will not work in an emergency. Finally, one of the most popular websites in the world, Reddit, is hoping for a valuation of up to $6.4 billion when its shares go public next week. The social media company, which has never made a profit, will float shares on the New York Stock Exchange. A filing in the U.S. revealed that Reddit and its investors are hoping to sell 22 million shares for between $31 and $34 each. However, many users worry their move will fundamentally change the website. Some shares will be specially reserved for some Reddit users and moderators. The company is planning an initial public offering, which could make some of its shares publicly available to buy for the first time. Reddit, which was founded almost 20 years ago, is an online forum where users can post questions.
And now finally, let's play. Rising Stars head coach Salim Babu has named a provisional squad that consists of players from various teams to prepare for the upcoming four-nation under-20 tournament set to take place in Malawi between the 18th to the 26th of this month.
Players from various teams participating in different FKF run leagues across the country have been named in the National Under-20 Rising Stars to prepare for the Four Nations tournament in Malawi. Ibrahim Wanzala, Adra and Kibet are among 12 junior stars named in the team by head coach Salim Babu. Wanzala and Kibet were among top performers at last year's Sekafa Under-18 Championships. Goalkeepers in the team include Ibrahim Wanzala of Kakamega Homeboys, Junior Odhiambo of Migori Youth, Joshua Kea of Rainbow, Kevin Alois of Madara United, and Isa Emuria of Ulinzi Stars. Team defenders include Nesta Olum of AFC Leopards, Sigum Maina of Kariobangi Sharks, Junior Masinza of Kakamega Homeboys, Francis Kamau of Bidco United, and Paulo Chuga of Gor Mahia, among others. Midfielders include Linus Munyao of Rainbow, Hamisi Otieno of Homa Bay, Lucas Maina of Ulinzi Stars, Bernard Ouma of Nairobi United FC, Kelly Madada of AFC Leopards. Forwards include Delphine Omuri of Shabana, Hassan Benja of AFC Leopards, Adrian Olo of Nairobi United. Faith Akinyi for Lunchtime News.
Aside from the English Premier League result yesterday night about Chelsea, of course, you can find that out. Also tonight, it is a Champions League match. We do have Barcelona against Napoli. And of course, the Arsenal are set to take on Porto. And tomorrow it will be Atletico Madrid versus Inter. And finally, BVB and PSV as we're shaping up for the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. That marks the end of our bulletin this afternoon. My name is Abdiaziz. Hashim. Do join us in our subsequent bulletins for more news, but you can always find more on our webpage at www.kbc.co.ke. Good afternoon for now.
Ili kupata mtu wa baraka kama asikiza tune yako, bonyeza *812 *503#.
Wewe, ni kwa nini unafurahia vipaji ili asiye anayetoa? Kwa nini unapenda baraka, humpendi mtu wa baraka?